Practice Test 8. Listening Test, Part 1. You will hear short conversations. After you hear each conversation, you will be asked a question about what you heard. The answer choices are shown as pictures, A, B, and C. Circle the letter of the correct answer. You will hear each conversation only once. 1.
We'd better get our shopping list ready for tomorrow's dinner party.
Let's see. I know we need cherries, sugar, flour.
Well, that covers what we need for the pie, but we also need a chicken. Oh, and lettuce and tomatoes and other stuff for a side salad.
What are they going to prepare for the main course? Two.
What kind of gown did your sister wear at her wedding?
Well, I imagined her in a round-necked, long-sleeved, full-length gown, not at all tight-fitting. Boy, did she have me fooled. Aside from the length, I got everything else completely wrong.
Which gown did his sister get married in? Three.
Okay, I think we're all set for tomorrow. I'll drop Mary off at school at the usual time, and you'll pick her up at 5 after her basketball practice, right?
Uh-oh, I've got a doctor's appointment tomorrow afternoon. I probably won't be home till after 6.
Tell you what, if you take her to school, I'll be able to get to the office really early. That will give me plenty of time to finish the report, which means the boss won't mind if I leave a little early.
Sounds good to me. I'll cook dinner before I go to the doctor's so we can eat as soon as I get home.
What will the woman do first tomorrow? Four.
Anything good on TV this afternoon?
Well, there's the tennis semifinals, the big golf tournament, and a basketball game.
Golf fan that you are, you'll probably be glued to the tournament, right?
You know me too well.
I'd rather watch the tennis, but I know how much this means to you.
Which event will she watch with him? Five.
Almost ready?
I guess so. I still can't decide which shoes to wear. I want to look professional at the interview.
Well, the heels you've got on look great, but they're not very practical, especially since you're going to be on your feet all day.
You're right, of course. My lower heels will make a better impression. I know. I'll wear my sneakers now and change just before I get to the interview.
Which type of shoe is she going to wear at the interview? Six.
Hey, I like that leather jacket on you. Is it new?
Sure is. I got it on sale, $100 off.
So, how much did you pay for it?
Well, the original price was $200, so I got a real bargain, especially considering I'd been looking at another one for almost twice that much.
How much did the woman pay for the jacket? Seven.
Ready for final exams?
I'm getting there. I've got history and math this Friday, so I'm concentrating on those first. Once they're out of the way, I'll concentrate on French, which is Monday of next week. Biology isn't until a week from Friday, so I'm not even thinking about it till French is out of the way.
What will she be studying over the coming weekend? Eight.
Hey, that's a great-looking sweater. Where'd you buy it? At the mall?
Actually, I made it myself, but I did buy the yarn for it there a couple of months ago. I've been taking a knitting class at the new recreation center downtown, and we get a discount on supplies at the yarn barn.
You're kidding.
Not at all. It's a class specially for men. I'm just about to knit a scarf and a pair of gloves to go with it.
What did he buy at the mall? Nine.
I heard about what happened to you at the tennis club the other day. Are you okay?
I'll live, but my wrist is still really sore.
What happened?
I was serving, and when I made contact with the ball, I felt this horrible pain shoot all the way up my arm. The doctor says I pulled something in my wrist. I'll have to keep it taped up for at least another 10 days.
Which picture shows the woman's injury? Ten.
What time did you get home last night?
It must have been about 8. I left the office around 6, but there was an accident on the bridge, and I was stuck in traffic for almost an hour. I'm usually home in half the time it took me last night.
How long does it usually take him to get home from work? Eleven.
Have you decided where you'd like me to take you for your birthday?
Well, we always seem to go to the theater on my birthday, so why don't we go somewhere different for a change?
Like?
Well, I'd love to say Hawaii, but I'll settle for a nice romantic dinner at Chez Louise.
You're on.
Where does the woman want to celebrate her upcoming birthday? Twelve.
Did you see the documentary about wildlife in the Amazon last night?
Partially. I loved the first part about exotic bird life, but I turned it off halfway through, shortly after they started showing all those creepy, crawly creatures. I was thinking about doing an Amazon trek for my next vacation, but I think I'll go someplace cooler, where I don't have to worry about getting bitten by anything poisonous. There's a whale-watching festival in Alaska that I've always wanted to attend.
Which animal was not included in the documentary she watched? Thirteen.
I hate being on this diet.
But it's doing wonders for you.
I know, but all those no-fat dairy products are killing me. I can tolerate all the fish the doctor wants me to eat, and I can barely get down the steamed vegetables, but the thought of having to eat so much yogurt and drink 3 glasses of skim milk a day is not my idea of fun. I'd rather have plain water.
Which part of his diet does the man dislike the most? Fourteen.
You sound awful. Are you sure I can't get you something from the drugstore?
Luckily, I bought a digital thermometer the other day, so I've been taking my temperature. I don't have a fever, but my nose is running like a broken faucet. Perhaps a couple of boxes of tissues would help. I'm beyond the aspirins and vitamin C stage.
What does the man want the woman to pick up for him? $15.
Have you seen my keys? I thought I left them on the kitchen table, but they're not there now.
Uh-oh. I think I heard something fall before. Maybe Whiskers jumped up on the table and knocked them off. Did you check under the table?
Actually, I did. No luck there. Ah, here they are. A bit wetter than when I put them on the table, but at least the mystery's been solved.
Where did the woman find her keys? "16.
Is that your new roommate over there by the door? The guy with the shaved head and red sweater?
No, that's my cousin Eddie, and next to him, the guy with the short brown hair and the big hole in the knee of his jeans, is the one I roomed with last year. Mike, my new roommate, is over there by the kitchen.
You mean the guy with the long, curly brown hair and striped shirt?
Yup.
Which person is the man related to? "17.
Have you figured out what kind of a vacuum cleaner you're going to get for your new apartment?
Well, first I thought about one of those small cordless handheld models, but then I realized I needed something with a lot more power to pick up the cat hair. I don't want one of those big old canister models, you know, the kind you have to drag along the floor wherever you go. So I decided on something simpler and lighter that was all in one piece.
Which vacuum cleaner is the man going to buy? "18.
I hear you're completely refurnishing your new apartment. What are you doing with your old stuff?
I thought I'd donate the bigger pieces, like the armchairs and sofa, to the charity shop downtown.
How about your dining room table and chairs?
Oh, I promised those to my sister.
And that chest of drawers in your bedroom?
Is that a hint?
Well, if you haven't promised it to anyone, I'd be happy to take it off your hands.
Done.
What is she going to give him? "19.
How was your weekend?
Not bad. I took my daughter to the safari park, but I got the feeling she's getting too old for that kind of thing.
I know what you mean. I know. Next weekend we're taking the boys camping at Spring Lake. We went there last year and they really loved it. Why don't the two of you come along?
I'd love to, but we've already made plans to visit my parents at the beach.
Where do the man and his daughter intend to go next weekend? "20.
Just look at it outside. It makes me wish I could turn the clock back 4 to 5 months.
My, you've got a short memory. All you did was complain about how nasty the weather was last summer.
How is the weather now? "21.
Did you read the letter from Johnny's principal?
You mean the one about somebody spray painting graffiti all over the front entrance of the school? Yeah, sounds like they're really having a bad year. First the broken windows, then somebody went wild with a permanent black marking pen in the boys' locker room, and now this. It's terrible.
Which act of vandalism happened first? "22.
How are the plans for your annual family reunion coming along?
Don't ask. We usually have it over the 4th of July weekend so we can have a big barbecue in my mother's backyard and watch fireworks on the river. But this year, my brother and a couple of my cousins have planned a camping trip to the Grand Canyon. My mom was really mad at first, but then she came up with the idea of Labor Day at the beginning of September. That didn't work because some of us have to be back at college at the end of August. So now we've all decided to go skiing in Colorado between Christmas and New Year's.
What will the woman's family do for their big reunion this year? 23.
Wow, this train and subway strike is really inconveniencing a lot of people.
I know. The traffic is awful. Lots of people are driving in, and the buses are so crowded that you can't get a seat. I used to commute by train, but luckily I moved last year, and now I live close enough to cycle to work.
How does she usually get to work? "24.
Have you seen the salt? It's not on the kitchen counter where I usually keep it.
Try the cupboard above the sink. I cleaned off the counter yesterday and I'm pretty sure I put it there to get it out of the way. I know you like to keep the spices and things above the dishwasher, but there wasn't any room for it there.
Got it.
Where did she first expect to find the salt? "25.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would it be?
That's a hard one. If you had asked me a few years ago, I would have said some really exotic beach destination, like Tahiti or Bali. But now I think I'd prefer something closer to home.
Such as?
I don't know. Something adventurous, like a whitewater raft trip down the Colorado River, maybe.
Which vacation destination appeals to the woman nowadays? "26.
It's times like this that make me want to never travel by plane again.
I know what you mean. We've been sitting in this horrible, uncomfortable departure area for 4 hours.
Well, next time we need to avoid winter travel. That's for sure.
I know. We took our lives in our hands getting here as well. Those icy roads are a nightmare so early in the morning.
Where is the couple now? "27.
I see Karen's invited us to her annual costume party. Shall we dress up as pirates?
I don't know. I don't think everyone would appreciate you stabbing them with a fake sword all evening. I was thinking of something a bit more romantic, like Romeo and Juliet, or the King and Queen of Hearts.
I like your second idea.
How will they be dressed for the party? "28.
Look at this. I've been wanting to buy a webcam for a while now, and this is definitely the neatest one I've ever seen.
Wow! It's a full-bodied robot. How does it work? I see the eyes are lit up. Is that where the camera is?
Well, according to what I just read, the camera actually sits in the robot's chest. The lights in the eyes go on when the room is too dark for the camera to see anything.
How does it hook up to the computer?
You just plug one end into the USB port on the robot's back and put the other end into a port on your computer, and you're ready to go.
And the arms and legs? What do they do?
Nothing. They're just there for decoration.
Which gadget are they talking about? "29.
I'm thinking of buying some kind of home exercise machine to help me stay in shape.
What did you have in mind?
Well, maybe a treadmill or a stationary bike.
Are you sure? Treadmills are great, but they're expensive and they take up a lot of room. And stationary bikes? Well, they're great too, for the first month or so. Long term, you should buy one only if you need an extra place to hang your clothes. If it were me, I'd buy a real bike instead. That's what I did.
What does the woman think he should get? "30.
How did you do on your finals?
Well, I was hoping to get at least a B in chemistry.
And?
I got a B+. Math is usually my strongest subject, but I got a B in that. French was the real surprise. My teacher said I was in danger of failing, but I guess my last-minute studying paid off. I got a C, and believe me, I couldn't have been more pleased.
On which exam did he get the best grade? That is the end of Part 1. Practice Test 8. Listening Test, Part 2. Imagine you are listening to the radio. You are going to hear someone from a radio station interviewing two people at a theater festival at Stage Door Manor, a very different kind of summer camp for kids. First, you will hear about what makes Stage Door Manor so special. Next, you will hear about a typical day at the camp. Then, you will hear about the theater festival and some of the camp's special visitors. You will hear the interviews in several parts. After each part, you will hear some questions. There are 3 answer choices for each question. You should select, from the 3 answer choices, the best answer to the question. If you want to, you may take notes in your book as you listen. Now you will hear the beginning of the first interview. For this part, there will not be any actual test questions. The questions that follow this part are examples only.
Welcome, listeners. I'm Lisa Ashley for WELT Radio News Network, and I'm here to welcome you to another edition of What's Hot for Kids. We're broadcasting live this evening from Stage Door Manor, a unique sleepaway camp for 10 to 18-year-olds located on the grounds of the former Carmel Hotel in Loch Sheldrake, New York. What a fabulous place for a camp this is. Loch Sheldrake is a beautiful resort town in the Catskill Mountains, roughly a 2 hours drive from New York City. In its day, the Carmel was one of the great resort hotels of the area, but now, well, let's talk to Tom Jenkins, Stage Door Manor's Public Relations Manager, to find out more.
Example 1. What is the name of Lisa's radio show? The answer is B. What's Hot for Kids? Example 2. According to Lisa, what kind of business existed here before Stage Door Manor took over? The answer is C. A well-known hotel. Now we will continue this interview. Remember, after each section of the interview, you will hear some questions. The sections are separated by double lines. You will have 12 seconds to mark your answer to each question. There will be 20 questions. Are there any questions before we begin?
Hi, Tom. Before we talk about the theater festival that's about to happen here, let's give our listeners some background. What makes Stage Door Manor such a special place for kids to spend the summer?
Well, Lisa, anybody who registers to spend part or all of the summer at Stage Door Manor is not looking for a typical fun-filled sleepaway camp experience with swimming, volleyball, nature hikes, and sing-alongs around a campfire. Our campers never say no to having fun, but the fun they're looking for has more to do with exploring and developing the love they have for theater and/or other performing arts. Sure, we build time into the schedule for things like swimming, tennis, volleyball, and other outdoor activities, but the main emphasis is on giving campers a chance to experience the magical world of the stage. So strictly speaking, we're not so much a summer camp as a training center for kids who love performing. Where we differ from typical summer camps is that our campers take classes in things like acting, dance, TV, musical theater, makeup, directing, lighting, and stage design. What's more, and this is the really exciting part, Each and every camper gets to perform before live audiences in at least one of 36 different shows that we produce at Stage Door Manor each summer.
31. What point does Tom make about Stage Door Manor? 32. What do campers at Stage Door Manor spend most of their time doing? 33. What does Tom consider the most exciting part of going to camp at Stage Door Manor?
'Do would-be campers have to prove themselves at a tryout to be able to attend Stage Door Manor?
Absolutely not. The only requirement is that campers are excited about the theater and want to learn more about performing. Some already take music or dancing lessons. Others have enjoyed acting in school plays, and some have even performed professionally on Broadway or TV. But most campers come to us as beginners who want to find out what they can do. And the nice thing is that our classes are organized to suit each camper's background. We group everyone into one of 3 levels: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. That way we can guarantee that everyone will get something out of the experience. Once a session starts, campers do have to try out for parts in individual plays. Not everyone gets chosen for a leading role, of course, but we do guarantee that no one goes home disappointed. Plus, campers get to choose whether they want to appear in a musical or a conventional drama or comedy, so each person is allowed to work in his or her comfort zone.
Are the auditions stressful?
Not at all. In fact, we require all campers to take part in a short workshop before the auditions, so everyone knows what to expect and how to prepare. On the day of the auditions, each camper is paired with someone their own age. They're asked to read a short scene on stage, and then they're given a chance to sing. It's the staff's job to keep things fun and easy, and we usually manage to do just that.
34. What must children and teens have to get into the camp? 35. Who gets to act in the camp's productions? 36. What does Stage Door Manor do to ensure that even experienced campers get something from the lessons? 37. How does Tom characterize the process of trying out for plays?
'Can you tell us what a typical day at the camp is like?
Sure, Lisa. Mornings are devoted to the classes. These are taught by our staff members who are instructors of music and drama at leading universities or professional showbiz people, like actors, directors, choreographers, and stage designers. You won't find your average history or math teacher working here unless, of course, they've got some kind of performance specialty. Anyway, campers get to select the classes that interest them. They can concentrate on one area, say acting or dancing, or even behind-the-scenes aspects of the theater, like lighting or set or costume design. Or they can follow a more general program and learn about a range of things. Anyway, that's what campers do in the morning. After lunch, they spend a few hours relaxing and doing activities of their choosing, like swimming, horseback riding, volleyball, and tennis. But then, things become stage-oriented again. In the late afternoon and evening, there's an intensive schedule of rehearsals and performances. And to top it all off, the day finishes with a rich program of social activities, from disco nights to conventional campfire sing-alongs. Sometimes we even have guest talks from visiting stage celebrities.
38. When do the campers attend classes? (39) Which of the following would be least likely to be a member of the camp's teaching staff? (40) Which would interest a camper who wanted to learn about behind-the-scenes aspects of theater? (41) What do the campers do at the very end of the day?
Thanks, Tom. It certainly sounds like a very rich program. Now let's turn to Tom's colleague, Mandy Mercer, the camp's main musical producer. Hi, Mandy. I hear you're the #1 person in charge of all the musicals that the campers will be performing this summer. Tom mentioned earlier that all in all, about 36 different plays will be performed this summer. How is it possible to produce that many plays in such a short time?
Well, there are really two keys to it. First, there's the 250 fabulously talented and enthusiastic kids that take part in the plays. And secondly, there are the fantastic facilities that we have at the camp. Stage Door Manor has 8 separate performance spaces, 5 dance studios, 2 TV studios, several mini theaters, not to mention workshop spaces, and a huge number of classrooms. This allows us to create a constant flow of theatrical productions, from Broadway musicals like Wicked, Rent, and High School Musical, to Shakespeare favorites like Romeo and Juliet, and classic kids' plays like Peter Pan. The camp season is divided into 3 3-week sessions, so we put on 12 shows every 3 weeks. The neat thing is that in addition to performing in their own plays, campers also get to see the plays their fellow campers have been working on.
42. What is Mandy's role at Stage Door Manor? (43) Apart from the campers, what else does Mandy say makes it possible for the camp to produce so many plays? 44. How many weeks in total is the camp in operation for?
'So let's talk finally about Drama Fest, tonight's special event.
Well, Drama Fest is a relatively new event at Stage Door Manor, which we began holding once a session in 2008. It's a unique kind of event because rather than featuring the work of established adult playwrights, each Drama Fest showcases the original work of 5 very talented campers who get to see their words and characters brought to life by their fellow campers.
How are the plays chosen? Is it like a contest?
Exactly. In fact, we hold a Drama Fest once each session, so it's really 3 contests with 15 winners. Campers are invited to submit their original scripts before the start of each session, and the Stage Door Manor staff decides on the 5 best. Scripts must run no longer than 10 minutes and have 5 characters or less, so we're talking about short one-act plays for a limited number of actors. When the session starts, the mini plays go into production. Each student playwright gets to work with his or her own camper cast and a professional director who helps them pull the production together. Then, on the night of the fest, the 5 plays are performed in front of all the campers, plus additional invited guests that include well-known playwrights and actors, representatives of major script publishing houses, and members of the well-respected Young Playwrights Organization.
Impressive. It must be quite an honor for campers to have their work recognized like that.
45. Who writes the plays that are produced during Drama Fest? (46) How many times is Drama Fest held each summer? (47) Who decides which plays are to be performed at each Drama Fest? (48) Which word does Mandy use to characterize the plays that are performed at Drama Fest?
And speaking about campers having their work recognized, I hear a number of actors have actually gotten their start here at Stage Door Manor. How does that work?
Well, over the course of the summer, we have a constant stream of showbiz professionals passing through our doors, including movie and TV stars, directors and producers, set designers, and talent scouts. Some host guest masters classes or informal discussion sessions. Others, like talent scouts, come just to attend the performances in hopes of discovering new actors. In fact, that's one of the most exciting things about Stage Door Manor. Some of the campers are actually discovered at end-of-session performances by visiting talent scouts, and our kids wind up with roles on Broadway or TV. Some campers even make it to Hollywood, and I don't mean for a camp-organized field trip. It's also not unusual for agents or producers to call up our director after the summer to see if he can recommend anyone for a specific role.
49. Of the following, who would most likely attend a performance at Stage Door Manor in hopes of discovering a new young actor? (50) What does Mandy suggest about campers when she says some even make it to Hollywood? That is the end of the listening test.